Fig tree cuttings just done. The oven's on and the washing machine's on. So going to be some competition with noise. So back in December, I noticed this fig tree. It was like in the driveway or walkway to where an old allotment site used to be, which is basically just a field now. And there was a fig tree hanging over it, so it's sort of like publicly available. And I kept thinking, well, should I cut some branches of it or not? You know, because it's overhanging onto where people can walk. And I was like too scared to do it in the end, because you don't really want to offend people, because someone might know, you know, the guy's house, they might notice, and they might not want it being cut off, even though I'm allowed to do so. So I, I, I never actually got round to it. And then yesterday, Sunday, on the way to work, I noticed that everything down that area had been cut down, including like a third of the fig tree had been cut off, or the branches. And it wasn't being done by an arborist. It was like more like a company that's used to clearing ground, because the field's been mown as well, and all the brambles in that field have been cut down. So it looks like the council are finally going to get round to building some flats there or whatever. So tomorrow I'm going back there anyway to see whether I can rake up the grass cuttings, because I need some grass cuttings for mulch. So that's basically my first story, that I was too scared to take the fig cuttings, and then along comes a council and wrecks the tree anyway. So I joined in and took some branches. Now, the second story I've got to say is, so that's like the top of the branch, these three, and then these were like the next section down. And the guy who lives in Carolina on YouTube, I saw a comment on one, because I watched loads of YouTube videos about doing fig cuttings back in December when I was thinking about doing it. But and apparently one can put wax on the end, which is presumably to stop dehydration, although it might not actually make all that much difference. Also, just to let you know, I haven't used rooting powder, and I'm not really good at doing cuttings anyway. So what I've done, I put them in toilet roll holders, and then there's still some more compost at the bottom there that the fig tree cuttings can grow into. Because they tend to seem to readily produce roots which go quite far downwards, and the toilet roll tubes seem to be the right appropriate things to put the cuttings into, because of the size and shape of the cuttings, although this doesn't really seem to be a thing in North America, but we're used to doing it in Britain. Anyway, the story about the wax, this is the second story. So I saw there was this potted cheese being sold at Aldi at Christmas, and I'd never had potted cheese before, and this was Shropshire Blue, and I like blue cheese. So I thought, oh, I'll try that. So basically, I'll buy it for the jar as well. So as I didn't know anything about potted cheese, and I'm working class, I just assumed potted cheese was cheese in a pot. Anyway, at some stage in late December, I went to open it, and there's this bloody thick layer of wax on the top, which that put me off, because I had to dig through that, and then I wasn't sure about being able to separate the wax from the actual cheese, so it was like late at night, I just didn't bother. But also, because it was late at night, the cheese just stayed in my room for a couple of weeks before I had another go at it. And when I did, and I dug the wax out, the cheese was all mouldy. So I threw the cheese away because I thought, oh, it's mouldy because it's been in my bedroom. But the thing is, it was Shropshire Blue, so it's meant to be mouldy. But my brain didn't click into gear until just after I'd thrown it away into the bin. So I never actually had any cheese, and the jar itself is fairly useless because the lid's quite loose, and see, I still haven't actually found a use for it. So I did actually keep the wax though, because I thought, wax, I've come across that recently. So this has been heated up in the microwave, and then I've smeared some wax on these three fig cuttings from the middle branches, which have come from the potted Shropshire Blue cheese. Right, so that's the second story. Hope that made you laugh.